Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a church. Recommend it. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Just saw the ratings went up, so thank you for that. Jiaoying Summers is back on the show by popular demand. Chris Maxpaz got some news.
Hey, guys.
De La Hoya coming in. Boy, that bio doc he just did, two-parter. It is a tell-all. You've never seen him quite so vulnerable. So we'll get in some stuff with him. We'll do that in the second hour. Jiaoying, first, you brought your mom.
Yeah, she doesn't believe I'm on your show.
Now, I don't believe that she knows who I am.
I think we have your old shows in China that they have Chinese subtitles. So she knows you are very, very famous. She just doesn't. She knows that for sure.
I don't remember getting any residual checks.
They don't do that. They
China.
steal it. They steal it, and then they just whoever is smart enough to steal all the footage and release them, and then they can get a free advertisement on it. Not free. They make money from it.
Yeah.
It's classy.
Yeah. I'd like to wet my beak. It's an American saying. It means get a little cash.
Yeah,
from
I'm gonna
that,
go there and try to still ask for money for you.
Please. Now, I was originally, when I saw your mom walk in, I was a little surprised because I thought this is going to be the show where we get to talk shit about our moms. But
we can talk. She can't understand anything.
She doesn't understand English.
Yes, it'll be
so have at it.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah,
we can have at it.
Yes,
because it
slowed
my roll for a second.
Oh, we are gonna talk shit about her. Yeah, I need you because it's for my mental health.
Yeah, I think your mom was better than my mom. You know, is overtly aggressive and condescending.
Well,
as verbally abusive as she was, I still think my mom's got her beat.
When Jiaoying brought her mom in, she goes, "Hey, this is my mom. She didn't kill me."
Yeah,
that's how
she likes
introduced
boys
her.
though.
She likes boys.
Yeah, she likes you guys because you guys are just. But for a woman, she think I'm disabled and she kept me. She just felt like I own her everything for being alive. But you guys are men. She's like,
yeah. So you're paying a large debt every time you see her.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking a moment ago, like, why are some guys into Asian women? And I think there's a couple components to it. You're basically hairless, and that's a plus.
Dolphin pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphin pussy.
Dolphin pussy.
Yeah, there's
okay.
not a lot of hair.
So I know where the blowhole is. So I did the dolphin pussy math. But it says, like, I don't know. You must know guys. I don't trust guys that are into Asian women. Because I think they like subservient women. And I think they're going to get, like, they go, I want to get my way. Mm-hmm. And I can't get my way with an Armenian woman. And I'm going to get a little more hair. I want to get a hairless Asian woman and get my way. And so I don't trust those guys.
But I think those guys are digging their own graves because Asian women are slow poison. They just know what they want. They look at you. They see green card. Mm-hmm. And also, I think white men are easier to manipulate.
Yeah.
They just, they are happy with sandwich. Imagine you make them dim sums and a blowjob. They're done.
Oh,
they don't
my
think.
God. I fantasize about a sandwich.
Right?
Yeah. Forget about dim sum and a blowjob.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you are buying her brother a car. And you don't know. You
so
don't
that's
remember.
The game.
Yeah, there's a Toyota on his driveway. Like, oh, where's my 10 grand? And then, you get another blowjob. You're like, oh.
So it starts with pot stickers, but it goes to purchasing vehicles for family members.
Yes. Yes, that's what Asian women want. Like, they want to take care of their whole family. And a blowjob and dim sum cooking is nothing. It just doesn't mean anything. I think controlling the man is very important.
I think I get the blowjob first, and then I eat the dim sum.
Yes, all at the same time.
Oh, I don't know. That seems like bad form.
That's too much stimulation.
That's too much.
That's too much.
That's too much. Plus, you might get some dipping sauce on your head.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I got a dunk. So, it's kind of interesting when you see here in America. I mean, we have gold diggers.
Yes.
And everyone wants to be taken care of. Women want that in this country, but they're a little bit over it. They're not, it's not all. So I guess what I'm saying is in China, if you're a wealthy guy, you get your way,
Yes.
right? Here, wealthy guys, it's not really worth it. You don't really get your way. You just pay more in taxes. Everyone's pissed off. They want you to pay your fair share. You can't bribe cops. You can't really bribe the government. Like it's not what it used to be.
I think so. I feel like in China, there's no race. Asian man, Chinese man in China is a white guy in the 1920s. He just don't understand why he should feel bad or be sorry about anything because it just doesn't make any sense. So Asian men in China still now, they just have all the power. Women don't have the opportunities. But in America right now, being a wealthy white man, first of all, you should feel guilty. Everybody wants to make sure you feel guilty and you pay more. And you can't say anything because everything you say offend people. And you also feel the shame.
Yeah, no. Heterosexual, middle-aged, rich white guy.
Yeah.
Not even close to what I was fantasizing about.
Yes.
Christ. I didn't think I was going to have to bother with like airport security and shit. I thought I'd just like tuck $5 into the chick's bra and go, get yourself sandwich toots. And I just stroll right through. I did not know I was going to get reamed for taxes. And there's something called mansplaining that I was going to engage in. I had no idea I would be a pariah. I talk to a lot of guys that are my age, heterosexual white guys in Hollywood, and they just go, I can't get a job because, I'm old, I'm white. I'm like, it's not going to happen. I'm done.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's going very, very far. For me, me with my white friends, old white rich friends, if we are talking and they are boring, I just close my eyes. They're like, they don't know what to say because they're afraid they're going to call my tiny eyes. I'm just like, I'm listening.
She can fake sleep a lot.
Yeah, they won't say are you sleepy? Because that means they're calling my eye tiny. That would be racist. It's to a point they wouldn't even say, they're keep talking, pretending I'm listening. I'm like, I'm just playing with you. I want to see if you are gonna say, hey, are you sleepy? Or you are snoring. But they're just like, so that's how the Asian eyes are. They are closed, but they are open. We don't know. It's so funny. It's just ridiculous right now. You can't say anything.
You can't even if you're snoring or drooling.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see how funny it is. They wouldn't say, are you sleepy?
Yeah.
They wouldn't say that to me. They are afraid.
Well, I know when the blowjob stops, that means you've fallen asleep.
Yes.
Now, what the hell is the Barbie movie going to do in China?
I don't think it's legal.
You don't?
I don't think they would allow.
Because everybody...
It's not released in China, right?
Everyone's chasing that market here. Like, when you make a movie in the United States, you have to make concessions, maps of Taiwan and whatnot, take patches off of Tom Cruise's bomber jacket. Like, that's a market because there's, 1 billion people there, and you gotta look out for that market. That's a big potential market. But then the theme of Barbie is sort of women empowerment, not sure how that's going to work in China. So I don't know. I don't know if they're thinking it's coming out there or it is out there.
According to Variety, Barbie managed $8.2 million in its opening 3 days.
In China?
Yeah. So
in China.
8.2.
Fifth place.
So I see.
150. No, I think 162 here. 8 there?
Yeah.
Oh, I was confused. It was not allowed in North Korea because of map. But it's allowed in China because they have a little thing, the map of North Korea. Part of it didn't belong to North Korea, so it was banned in North Korea, not China.
Yeah. But China's been, Hollywood films have been doing really bad in China lately. Like Little Mermaid was bad, Indiana Jones, Fast X did badly. I know.
Now I'm pissed. So it came in 5th place. So it had the biggest opening weekend in a million years out here in the United States, but almost nothing in China.
They don't want it.
I just feel like the Chinese government has a lot to do about the propagandas about there's if they feel like that's not a value the government want to enforce for people to see, they wouldn't promote it the way it deserves. It's not. It's controlled. It's controlled by what the government want people to see.
God, I feel
it's like TikTok.
Yeah, I know. They have their version of TikTok.
Yeah, and
we
also
got-
TikTok here in America, the thing that's important that they want you to see, all the stupid dumb shit they want Americans to see.
Yeah, I know. They must love us. We're
Like
so
chop your dick
stupid.
off. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, we're so fucking stupid here. They must have loved COVID. Because when somebody would dare to say a year and a half ago, maybe this thing came out of a lab, everyone would turn on that person. Like we were doing their work for them. We were doing the Huffington Post and CNN were doing the bidding of communist China.
Yeah.
Awesome plan.
It's from a lab, and people can't even say it. People get bullied by saying it.
I think we're getting there. Though
Now
now
they can say it. Yeah.
Now I think we can say it. So, Chinese. Here's what I'm curious about with the government. I feel the same way about guys who are dating 3 women. I'm like, isn't one woman enough fucking trouble? Like, why 3? Like, it just feels like a lot of work. All the censorship and all. Just this movie can't get in. We're pissed because a map was drawn or a patch was on a sleeve. Like, doesn't that seem like way too much work? Like, why not just get rich, make your family rich, and enjoy yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I think I would never. First of all, if my daughter become a lesbian, I'll fucking choke her right now. She should die because women are so hard to
Now
manipulate.
you sound like Kevin Hart now.
I'm just serious. Like I would never allow her to be a lesbian because women are so hard to do with. You can't fuck with a woman.
Yeah, you don't want her
to
If
date
she's
women.
dating a woman, she get fucked because she's really clumsy and dumb. If she's dating a girl, that girl is gonna fucking ruin her life because
Yeah.
my daughter is not smart enough for women. Men are simple. They are easy. You can just like a sandwich, blowjob. They just do whatever the fuck you want. Women, they still talk about you think Scarlett Johansson is hotter than them. Yes, she is. She's Scarlett Johansson, bitch. You're ugly. That's all. But you can't say that. They still talk about. Did you imply that Scarlett Johansson is the most beautiful woman in the world?
Yeah.
My daughter be like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did it. You did it. And then she's gonna be miserable. I don't want her to be with a woman, not because I don't like women. It's just a woman being with a woman is very hard. 3 women? Oh my god. I think it's torture. That's just like I want to die. Give me 3 women to fuck me.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. I should say I'm going to be.
Kevin Hart. I lost my Oscar gig. Oops.
Well, the problem with Kevin Hart and that joke, like I've made a couple of gay son jokes, but my jokes had punchlines at the end of them.
Yes.
His joke was, if my son is gay, I'm going to smash a chair over his head, which doesn't really have a punchline. That's you just bashing
Right.
a gay person,
It's good for his head. He get better head because his head is harder now.
See, maybe if it ended with something like that.
My nails, right? I was painting my nail yesterday. My daughter got his nail, and my son came. I want a pink nail too. I paint his nails. I think if he become gay, it's amazing. A gay Asian man, he's every gay. He's like he's on top of the gay world. He can. Everybody want to fuck a gay Asian man. My son would have better opportunity as a gay Asian man than a gay straight male. So I'm happy. Whatever he wants.
Yeah, and I think, when you're thinking about your kids these days, you have to think about the intersectional coalition, which means, like Brad Williams comes in here.
Yeah.
Brad Williams has are we allowed to say dwarf?
Booster seat?
Midget?
Did you get a booster seat
He has
for him?
He has a dwarf daughter and an Asian wife.
Yeah.
And
Little
he
person. I don't
a little person. I don't know what it is, but he jokes that she gets to go right to the front of the line. In any
she's-
corporation, anyone's hiring is going to get
Any
her.
college she wants to get
That's
into.
a win-win.
She's a dwarf and Asian. She's a Pikachu.
That's what they call it?
She's a Pikachu. Pokemon.
Oh, Pikachu.
Pokemon.
I thought you were talking about the nut.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were saying pistachio.
Yeah, pistachio. Yeah, she's like a Pokemon. She's the most popular
Yeah,
species.
she's Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu. She's yeah.
So what I was saying is you're Asian, but that's no good in this country because you guys kick ass. So you actually get discriminated against at Harvard, at UCLA, at
Yes.
Stanford. You actually get discriminated against. But
If you are gay,
if you're gay, you at least move toward the middle,
Nice.
right? Because you're on the losing end
It can
right
only
now.
help. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm buying my son a Barbie outfit today.
Get him make sure he goes gay.
Yeah, that would be great. I think a gay Asian man, they are in demand.
Yeah, and if we had a black or Hispanic boyfriend,
that's nice.
That would help.
Yeah, that would be so good. Yeah.
And your daughter could date Brad Williams'
That's perfect.
daughter, because then she'd be lesbian, midget, Asian, and just she'd be the president of the United States. We wouldn't even have to vote.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Oh
the way
my
I
God.
think.
I should text Brad Williams.
Text Brad.
Well,
Yeah,
but I
she
don't
needs an
know though,
arranged marriage.
because I think his daughter is half Japanese, so that's the enemy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But she probably will hate me, so she would definitely date Japanese girls.
Yeah,
so
the
that's fine.
Japanese, everyone kind of forgets about them during World War II, but they're pretty rough on the Chinese.
Whenever I see a Japanese lady, whenever she's pretty, I'm like, I think we should be related because your grandpa raped my pretty grandma and murdered my ugly ones. So
Yeah.
we'll probably be related.
Yeah.
When I see Japanese people, I'm like, we are sisters. I don't want to hate you because I don't even know.
You're probably
We could be
related.
sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, they took comfort women.
Yeah, they took the pretty woman.
Oh, yeah.
And they murdered the ugly ones. I don't blame them. Ugly girls.
Really?
It's
Did
hard.
they really? God, they're bad.
When they go to the village, the Chinese civilians would put mud and dog shit on their pretty daughter's face, so they look ugly, so they don't get taken, become the comfort woman.
Really?
Yeah, but the Japanese can see pretty faces through dog shit. They know which one to rape.
Wow.
The Japanese people are so smart. They know. They can see.
Well, that's why they're dominating
They
over at Harvard
think they
and
are the
Brown.
white people of Asians. That's why all the Japanese porn is pixelated. You don't see their Asian dicks because they are not the white people of Asians. They're just like any Asians.
I
We have the same dick.
I have noticed in Japanese porn, it's pixelated.
Yeah, I'm like, why I'm paying for pixelated? Like, I want to see the real thing.
It's also kind of weird because they show everything.
Everything.
But the guy's wang.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
Maybe it's the secret of the Toyota success. We don't know. The key to the Toyota success. They know how to manage.
They know how to manage.
But these Japanese claim they are the white people of the Asian, like they are superior race of the Asians.
Oh, really?
But then in America, go back to China, you ugly bitch. You brought COVID to us. I'm Japanese, whatever. It's a part of China, whatever. People don't give a fuck. We are the same species, Asians.
Asians are like some of the most racist cultures
brutal.
out there, right?
Yeah, my mom was shocked. I did a sketch with my Japanese friend. She's like, "Be careful, okay? Take the chopstick in your purse. I don't want her to attack you." I'm like, "Mom, she didn't attack me. It's fine."
By the way, Jiaoying's going to be at Helium.
Yes.
And that's in Portland, and that's tomorrow. And then as soon as she leaves, I'm rolling in for Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
So it's a big weekend in Portland.
That is big. You are there for the weekend. They are lucky.
Who discovered Jiaoying?
I think Rita Piazza from the Hollywood Improv. She found me at open mic.
Well,
Chris
I
said-
heard-
And John Singleton. John
Yeah.
Singleton told me to do open mic to start comedy.
How did that work out?
Well, now I'm looking, all the people are striking. I feel bad for them, but also I feel happy because I never got booked any role because of my Me Love You Long Time accent. So I look at them, I'm like, see, you were taking all my jobs, all the actresses. Now they are losing jobs because they don't pay them residuals, which is not fair. But I remember I was auditioning. I did good training with my acting with Howard Fine Studios. I learned like 5 years, and I start auditioning. But my accent is a major problem. Sometimes people like me, but when it to the callback system, they just always choose somebody who don't have an accent. I auditioned for John Singleton's TV series. It's called, there's the last TV show he worked before he passed. It's called not Snowfall. It's called Rebel.
Yeah.
It's a TV show about this black girl. She's a cop in Oakland, and she has a sidekick. It's an Asian girl. Her name is Karma, but she was born in Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area. So she has this white girl Bay Area accent. They liked me, and then I remember after my call, I was doing the second audition. I forgot things. I started improvising, and they were laughing so hard. It was such a beautiful moment. Everybody's laughing, happy and clapping. I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna book this role. I'll change my life." My mom would never look at me the same. My mom would look at me like I was worth it. So then after that, John Singleton, he actually walked over to me, and he had his phone. He's playing this YouTube clip from Ali Wong's Baby Cobra. He said, "You should do stand up. You should do stand up. You're going to be really good. You're going to be a star if you actually do it. I was so excited. I said, oh my God, do I have the job now? He's like,
No.
oh, hell no. Well, I don't understand a word you said. Get out. So, but he did get my contact. And I think a week later, he texted me, like, did you go to an open mic?
Really?
Which is weird because I just I don't know anything about stand-up comedy. Then I started to do research. I realized it's a career. It is an amazing career. It's something I've been doing because I was the ugly girl in China. The only time I get attention is to be funny. I'm funny around the boys, so they talk to me. I also do their homework. That's probably why they talk to me.
The blowjobs and the pot stickers don't hurt
I'm
either.
not good with blowjob because I have short hair and I look like a man. They don't want blowjob from me. Like they think like, I look like a boy when I was a little girl. I look like a cage fighter. Remember I told you cage fighter. That's
what your mom
I had
called
short
you.
hair. Yeah, I just wear the boys outfit because I gave up. When you are not pretty anymore, you said fuck you, fuck all of you bitches. I'm gonna be a man. I was wearing just like overalls and stuff. I was a lesbian. I wish I was.
I met John Singleton just a couple of weeks before he died, actually, because he came over here and wanted to talk about some project that I'd made. And he was a real great guy, and we had a great conversation, and it was sad. I mean, he just died suddenly
Running.
and young.
He was running.
Yeah, see what happens when you exercise?
Eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
Sit down.
So Singleton tells you, how many years ago is this?
I was 2018. I didn't start comedy. I started comedy 3 years later. I started comedy like 2020, the January of 2020.
So you didn't do it immediately?
I just think he was just telling me no. He just told me, you can do this. Like, oh, you can't be the lead actress, but you can mop the floor for the bathroom. We need somebody. I just thought he just was a nice no to me. But then I started doing research. I realized that, wow, that's something I should really try. I did my first open mic October of 2019.
Now your mom's in the lounge in the back.
Oh, I just remember this.
Yeah, she doesn't speak English, but there's a speaker on over there.
Oh no.
You could talk to her in Chinese and see if you can get her to come over to this window and wave. Just want to see if it works. I want to hear what it sounds like.
Yeah, me too.
So just use the microphone like a PA system to
妈妈，
talk to
你
your
在外
mom.
面吗？妈妈，你在外面，你过来窗户这打个招呼可以吗？ I have a heart attack right now.
What are you telling her?
I said, Mom, come over here and say hi to the window.
You didn't
妈妈，
say
你过来打个招呼。你听见我说话了吗？ She never heard my voice in my whole life.
Don't
This
say,
is the first time you've spoken
don't
to
say
her.
anything about pot stickers and blowjobs.
Okay. 妈妈，你好。
There she
招个
is.
手。
Let's hear what you have a conversation in your native tongue.
妈妈，
哎，你说
我妹妹是不是比我长得白？
对呀？
She said, your sister, her skin's whiter than yours. Okay. I'm scared. What should I say?
Ask her what she thinks about your comedy career
妈妈，
so
你
far.
觉得我做单口喜剧，你什么想法？
我什么想法呀？我当时我觉得你走这条路很好的。
She said that's a good road for you to walk. Why you are lying?
Ask her if she thinks you're funny.
你觉得我搞笑吗？
因为你从小就是那嘴太快了，那像刀子似的，哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒，嘴太快了，就我觉得你说这个很适合你。
没人喜欢我是吧？小
对，
时候
没。人喜欢。小时候就是
是的
我们说的刀子嘴。
She said when you are, I think maybe now it makes sense you are doing comedy because when you are little, your mouth is like a knife. Nobody likes you, so probably that's a
so-
road for you to walk.
That's so
your mouth
weird.
is so fast and like a knife.
Your mom seems so sweet. She's smiling when she's saying this to you.
Those are the villains. They stab you in the back. You know, the like a crazy one. Ooh, you know, they are just appetizers. Those are.
Ask her if she knows me from television.
妈妈，我跟你讲过 Adam Carolla 是吧？你在国内是不是看到过他在国内的这些视频？然后你说你不相信我在他的秀上，你要来看一看。
我真的不相信，我一点都不相信。
你在国内看到过他的这个他知道他很出名，但是你不相信我在他的秀上。
对对对。
She said, "I know he's famous. I seen his things in China. There's no way I don't believe you are here." But I'm here， 但是我现在在这里，你什么感觉？
我很激动。
She said, "I don't believe you are here."
Is this the proudest she's ever been?
She said
of
that
you?
she's very nervous and excited. She doesn't know what to say because she actually know you.
Wow.
She know you are very famous and she watched some clips, but she just doesn't believe you are. I'm here, sitting here. She
Yeah.
doesn't believe. She still. 你现在还不相信吗？
我现在相信了。
你要掐一下自己吗？
我更相信我的那个小黑妞、小丑妞真的飞起来了。
Oh my god.
She didn't drop an N-bomb, did she?
sounds-
那个 means that. You like 那个 in Chinese means like when you say like it's the thing you feel in between sentence.
Oh, okay.
She
like,
said that she's like I think she said little ugly girl, little dark ugly girl is having her dream coming true, and I can't believe it, but it is happening.
Tell her I have a Japanese wife and Japanese kids.
他的老婆是日本人，他的孩子是日本人。
太好了。
She's crying.
She said it's good for you.
All right. Well, tell her thank you.
谢谢你妈妈。
谢谢你们。
All right. Did she got it?
she包
Okay.
鞠躬。
I don't know why that's so.
She's bowing.
Aw.
That's I don't know why I'll
She
never.
said that,
She
why
seems
would she
very
have to say my little ugly girl is successful now? Well, she doesn't have to say that.
Did she say that?
Yeah, 小丑妞，小 means little， 丑 means ugly.
No.
Yeah.
I just heard the N word. I
那
don't
个
hear
那个
ugly.
means that.
Okay, but you won a beauty contest. You were like one Miss China, right?
Yeah, she has a lot of things to say about Miss China. She thinks that's the conspiracy theory of the American very smart people. They choose ugly girl to be Miss China to tell them the people's princess is ugly. The people's pussy is not in demand.
But speaking of pussy in demand, I mean, you must be dating, right?
No, I think being a female comedian is a walking IOD. I'm removing my IOD after the show. I'm gonna go to my doctor and remove it because I don't need it anymore. Nobody want to date a female comedian.
Oh,
I'm single.
IUD.
IOD.
Yes.
I've never got laid I haven't got laid for 8 months. I'm single. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to get a man. I don't have time for it, but I don't think a man look at me.
Do you want it?
I mean, you always want to have a guy who's cool and dating, if he's the right guy, yeah. But I just, I don't think a man look at me the same. Now I'm a comedian.
Oh, no, I think that's your culture. Mm-hmm. I think you're taking your old culture and you're grafting it on to American men. Mm-hmm. Because in America, there's tons of female comedians and they date. Sarah Silverman's a friend of mine. She dates plenty of guys. I don't think there's an issue with that. Kathy Griffin did a little dating. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of female comedians who date.
Maybe my eyes are small. I didn't see the guy around me.
Peripheral.
I should just look around like this because I can't really see beyond this.
Is that true?
I think so. It's I can't see beyond this.
As I have exquisite peripheral vision. I can see my hand if I put it all the way out, just straight out from my body.
I can't see it. I'm trained to just look forward and listen to people.
Watch,
trained.
I'll prove it to you.
Wow.
How many fingers? 2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it's not a fluke. Watch now. How many fingers? 1.
Shut up.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Now I'm going to throw myself a curveball. How many fingers now? No fingers. Closed fist.
That's the only
See what I
white
did?
privilege I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
That is the whitest of all the privileges.
Yeah.
You should go to China and do that trick. for
Yeah.
people.
I should
I know.
I could be a street performer. You guys, I can see my hand right now. Go! No! Get out of there!
Oh my
yeah,
God.
okay.
No fingers.
Don't believe me?
Oh my
Let's
God.
do the fingers game.
That is brilliant. Yeah.
I'll also mix it up because I'll have like a carrot top steamer trunk, and I'll pull stuff out and I'll look straight ahead, hold my right hand all the way out. What's in your right hand right now? A Sharpie.
Street perform. You should be doing arenas.
I know. Arenas.
I'll be playing arenas.
You should play I don't know, the great hall of people. You should play the bird nest for the Olympic stadiums.
Who's the biggest performer in China right now? What do they like the most?
I think you mean for magicians or like musicians? I think musicians.
Musicians.
Like the pop musics, like I think the BTS, they were very huge in China, but the Chinese government saw they become too big. They don't want to learn anything about the Koreans, so they are banned. Chinese pop culture, pop music, pop movie is banned in China. So there's like a Chinese like pop musicians, it's like a Chinese Taylor Swift. They are like the big people. Stand-up comedy is not a thing. For stadiums, is like big musicians, Chinese musicians.
So there's no, like, could you even think of the biggest Chinese comedian?
No. There's like, I would say sketch shows, 2-person doing like a little sketch on TV. But they can't play arenas because it takes like one comedian with one mic.
Right.
A stand-up comedian, I think, is like the conscience of society. You speak what need to be said, what you want to say. In China, you have to talk about how much you love the government in order to be on stage. There's a Chinese stand-up comedian just got canceled. Comedy is recent, stand-up comedy is recent. So this guy, he made a joke about hungry hyenas. Which they reflect about the Chinese Liberation Army when they were fighting the war. They had no food, so they eat anything like hyenas. Like they would eat anything like the tree stumps. So he didn't even mention the army, the soldier. He just said something about the hungry hyenas. So
he got some laughs too.
Yes, he got canceled. He's disappeared. I don't know where the fuck he is. And the whole stand-up comedy got canceled. The big company produces shows. Everything got canceled.
Well, I'll tell you something I learned about here, especially during COVID, is a lot of our pussy comedians kiss the government's ass as well. All through fucking COVID. That's all the comedians did. So maybe it's not just China.
I think America is having cultural revolution right now, a minor one. Okay, China had a cultural revolution. Is that anything you say is gonna... It means you are corrupted by capitalism, and in America right now it's getting really weird. I think it's kind of laughable when I see it, because for me it's like I respect people who's honest about their agendas, and I respect people who work hard and who respect other people. That's all. But if it's beyond that, it's too much. It's like somebody got offended, you don't call them their pronouns. I don't give a fuck. You can be anybody. You can be a man, a woman, or a trans woman, whatever. I don't care it's a she or her. I can't even, you can't say my name. Like, why would I say your pronoun?
Right, we can't even pronounce your name.
When I see you, you have a beard, you have Adam apple, you are a man. If you tell me you are a woman, okay, good. You are a woman. I respect whatever you tell me, but I don't want to say, hi, Sarah, as she and her. I don't want to do this. It's stupid. It's dumb.
No, it's just all about control.
Yeah, they want to control.
They're not interested in pronouns.
No.
They're not. All the language police aren't interested. When they go, it's not colored people, it's people of color. All this. They're just a whole bunch of fucking jackoffs that are trying to control everybody. That it's all control. Just here's how to pronounce this. They change the pronunciation of words every like 4 years. They want you to get it wrong. They want to correct you, and then they can control you. And that's why they all need to be told to fuck off.
They want to control you by fear, make you feel guilty about it.
Yeah,
everything you believe in.
Yeah, we should have never taken one step down the pronoun highway. Everyone should have just, from Jump Street, went fuck off. I don't give a fuck what your pronouns are. Go fucking tell your friends.
Exactly. It's stupid. They, them. What is that?
I don't know what they is. They is plural.
Yeah, is because you're fat? Like, should I call you they?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I'm only going to call fat people they. Hey, are you a they? Because you eat everybody. You be big. Also, like, you can't say fat.
No.
It's fat shaming. Like, how about people make fun of somebody who's very skinny? Oh, that person's so skinny. She probably did this. Like, fat, skinny, whatever it is. As long as, you are good people. That's
imagine, like, for immigrants, too. I mean, learning English was hard enough, and now there are all these, like, weird things that contradict the English language.
And you have that's true. And you also, I mean, I was born here. I didn't know what pronouns were till like 10 minutes ago. But the other thing that's kind of interesting is about 25 years ago, we started down this road where you can't judge. You cannot judge. And I would say, that's all I do is judge. That's all I fucking do is judge all the time. That's how I get to arrive at decisions, is by judging. And they go, well, you can't profile. And I go, that's all I do is profile. That's all I do is profile and judge.
Yep.
And everyone told me I couldn't do it. But let's let's just do this thought experiment. Okay, there's no judging. There's no fat shaming. There's no more fat shaming. When I grew up, that's all we did was fat shame. And you didn't even have to be fat. I had a cousin, Greg, probably carrying an extra 12 pounds, like as a 10-year-old. That was fat because skinny people or non-fat people weren't average. They were skinny. Kids were skinny when I was growing up in the Valley, 9, 10, 11 years old. And if you had, as an 11-year-old, like literally just an extra 8 pounds on you, you were the fat kid. So, and all we did was make fun of fat people. My sister was a little bit overweight. That's all I did. Porky, balorky, fatsy, balatsy. That's all. That's all I did. That's all we had. We didn't have, video games. We didn't have the internet. We had making fun of people that were just a little bit fat, right? All right. At some point, they said, no more of that. Now, look at the graph of fat kids now versus the 1970s and compare it, juxtapose it, or lay it over the graph of not being able to shame people for being fat. It's the exact same trajectory. Everyone is fat now because we said you cannot make fun of fat people anymore. I saw, I don't know, I think it was an NFL biopic or whatever it was on Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan I was a fat kid. He said, I was a fat kid. When I was 12, 13, I was the fat kid. And my older brother made fun of me and everyone made fun of me. And they made fun of me so much, I said, one day I'll show you. And he stopped eating the candy and he stopped eating the French fries and he got on a diet and he started working out all the time. And now we have Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
Because he got shamed.
Also because
Need
people
to bring
tell
it back.
him the truth.
Yeah, it's not even. Well,
Yeah.
by the way, the shame is up to you.
Yeah.
This is the truth.
Yes.
It's like saying a cop shamed you for pulling you over for speeding.
Yes.
He just pulled you over for doing 80 in a 55, but that's the 80 part's up to you.
Yes. I'm the only person who's telling my friends, kids, who's ugly, who's stupid, who's fat, because nobody
that's
else
good.
saying it. And I don't feel I was penis shamed. I was born without a penis, and it was pretty bad. Like I should make a good life without a penis. As a woman, what should I do in China to make a good life, to fuck everybody? And everybody can hear my voice about how I am just fine without a penis. And I don't feel like I was shamed by, we kept you. You don't have penis. Oh, your skin's so dark. You're so ugly. I'm like, you guys are ugly. You're ugly because I'm fine. I've seen Halle Berry in Hollywood. She's doing okay. So
Yeah.
I'm not dark. You're ugly. Fuck you. I always felt that way. They keep telling me how ugly I am. I keep thinking because you don't have a passport. That's your problem. I'm going to go to America, be hot. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. And your husband gonna jerk off to my photos. Yes, bitch. I was thinking about that my whole life when I was getting shamed. I think getting shamed is a real thing because you don't fit in. You are not. You are not peaking when you are in middle school or high school. It's a good thing. If you peak in middle school, you probably have 20 kids. You are in a trailer park right now. It's good to not be the popular one.
You're saying peaking, not peaking.
Peking duck. Peking duck.
Just want to make sure.
Eat less.
Yeah.
I just think it's
These
important.
bitches can suck your non-dick.
Yes, people are weak. When I
yes.
see those, somebody call me fat, I said because you're fat. And I have a friend the daughter, she's 10. She's like, I am going to the school. I'm going to talk to this kid's parents because he called my daughter fat. I said because she's fat.
Yeah.
She's very chubby, and all the kids are talking about her in her back. She can hear it, and this kid is just brave enough to say it in the front. And she should just control her diet and be a healthy girl to enjoy to be a girl that's healthy. Don't be fat and be embarrassed about people shaming them. It's not their fault. They have eyes; they can see.
Yeah. Exactly right. You're not helping the people who are fat. They're going to get early onset diabetes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Not only that's China fat shame, but I guess they ugly shame too. That's
Yes.
something I've never heard of.
It's good to ugly shame. Look at Khloe Kardashian. She's an ugly girl. And now look at who's laughing now. She has a new face. She's a woman now. She transformed into a beautiful woman. Because she was
got
an ugly
shamed.
one. Yeah, her mom always say, yeah, you look like OJ. That's because I cheated on your dad. But Look,
She looks like OJ.
look how hot she is now. Who's laughing now? She's
Not
like,
her.
I know I'm
I mean,
ugly.
us.
Yeah, and now look at she looks so good. She looked like a trans Barbie.
How much work do you think she's had done?
I think everything. She basically started with like, I love who I am. I am the ugly Kardashian. Then she's like, you know what? Fuck all of you. I don't want to be the ugly Kardashian. You guys are short little midgets. You are short bosses. I'm tall. Like I can be hot, bitch. And then she started with her nose. That nose, oh God, that nose, yeah, is gone. And her nose was gone, but her whole face shape, she changed it into more feminine because she's like a more dude-looking girl. She just looked like a man. It's fine. I will look like a man, and I got my chin. I have a chin implant.
You do?
Oh, you did.
Very small though. You can't see.
Well, if I
Like a-
can't see what
Like
you
a
do
little.
it.
I'm very small, but I can see.
Okay.
It.
All
I just
right.
really- I just feel like my face is more defined.
It looks good.
But I don't change everything. I change the little thing. People tell me, "Oh, your face are too big." I'm like, "Your face is too small." My face is big. I'm on TV. I want it to be big, But like I felt my chin is not good enough, so I just added a little bit. I think it's fine. She knows she's ugly, and now she's not.
Yeah, are you done doing any work to yourself?
I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. If I want transition into a man, I
Right.
would change.
If you
But
wanna
like
get
as a
that
woman,
penis.
I think I'm okay. I'm okay with a woman. I think I'm pretty hot for a
Yeah.
female comedian.
All right. We need to take a break. We got the news. And we'll come back and do that right after this. Let me tell you about Turo Innovative. It's the world's largest car sharing marketplace with Turo. You can book any car you want, wherever you want, from a community of local hosts. Browse a huge selection of vehicles for just about any occasion or budget. Book an SUV or a minivan for a family road trip, a pickup truck for some errands, or even test drive an EV. Every trip is backed by liability insurance. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Find your drive. Forget your boring rental cars at Turo, Turo.com. Let me tell you about AG1 by Athletic Greens, which I take daily. I gave AG1 a try for gut health, increased energy, immune support, and great taste. I take AG1, well, I take it in the morning, and it just helps me power through my day. Easy to fit into your lifestyle. It's the healthiest thing you can do in under a minute. Just one scoop of powder mixed with water once a day. Every scoop is packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, and high-quality whole food sourced ingredients. My AG1 is delivered every month, so it's super easy to make it a daily habit. I also get the single-serving packets, which I always take with me when I go on the road. So do yourself a favor and feel the difference with AG1. Right, Dawson?
If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ACS. That's athleticgreens.com/ACS. Check it out.
Let me tell you about O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wow. You want to save some money? You want to save some gas? Here's a few things you can do to improve your fuel mileage. Check your tire pressure, people. If the tire pressure is low in one or more tires, you're going to use a lot more gas. Check out your owner's manual or inspect the tire yourself to find the recommended pressure. O'Reilly Auto Parts carries a wide range of tire gauges to make it easy to check your tires on a regular basis. It's also a lot safer when they're properly inflated. Always keep your fuel system clean. A fuel injector or carburetor cleaner is a simple, affordable way to remove carbon deposits and moisture from the fuel system and can improve the performance and efficiency of your engine. How about changing a clogged air filter? As an air filter clogs with dirt and debris, airflow becomes restricted and cause your vehicle's fuel management system to use more gas. Changing clogged filters increases the amount of air available to your engine, which boosts your fuel economy. For all the money-saving gas tips you need this summer, ask the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts or go to O'ReillyAuto.com.
I love my kids, so I was thinking, I should start something smarter. Like I would launch an app to help the kids to match with playdates. It's very generic app, All the kids have to upload their best photos and profile photos, They have to, write how tall they are, how much they weigh, and how much money their daddy is making, and how many followers their mom have on OnlyFans. And it's important things. And I would call this app kindergarten.
Jiaoying Summers is on the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, Jiaoying's going to hang out. We're going to do some news. Oscar de la Hoya is going to join us shortly as well. So what do we got in the news?
All right, let's move on to Joe Biden. More importantly, his dog, Commander. So a new report has said that Commander has bitten Secret Service officers 7 times in 4 months.
Well, it kind of makes sense because they are always having to stand in front of the president and block him and get to his side. They have to get up on him, right?
Right.
And dogs who are a little bit aggressive get that way when somebody gets on their master.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
it makes sense if you're going to surround the president, those are the guys who are going to get bit.
Well, there's a couple things. So this is Joe Biden's new dog. His older dog, Major, also exhibited aggressive behavior.
He needs to stop giving him such powerful military titles.
Yeah.
How about Shaggy?
Yeah, Shaggy.
Or Scooby?
Yeah, give me something cute.
Powder Puff.
Yeah.
Sniffles.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Duke, Rex, something. He's giving all these names that I think are emboldening the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs think they are somebody.
And he probably has to get rescues because of the optics.
I know they're
right?
German Shepherds. This one, the Commander's a 2-year-old German Shepherd. And
go to a puppy mill, buy a nice lab.
Yeah, he should call his dogs his son's name because those guys are weak.
Yeah, Hunter.
Hunter will just be a pussy, lay there and don't do nothing and sniff coke. Just he'll never bite any secret service. He just sit there and be like, "Where's my treat? Where's my cocaine?"
Yeah,
and watch porn on his laptop. Whatever. Yeah, just call them Bo.
That guy took a picture of himself
Licking the dog.
No, not licking the dog. What I'm saying is everything that was illegal that he did, he made sure and chronicled it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like me going, oh, man, I'm thinking about beating off. Oh, where's my camera? How about you just get your dick sucked by a whore? Does everything have to be chronicled? Hey, oh, wait a minute. I'll get my dick sucked by a whore. Oh, shit. Hold on. Where's my crack pipe? Come on, fellas.
Get it all in here.
Where's my Nazi general's hat and my crack pipe? Come on now.
In the pool.
We're doing it. We're taking a picture.
Yeah.
Every single thing was him with a crack pipe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get high and drive to Las Vegas. Let's see if I can get this Corvette up to 180 miles an hour. Oh, hold on. Let's get the picture of this.
Also, I want my sister-in-law to suck my dick when I'm driving.
Yeah. Can we get the crack pipe next to the speedometer in the picture and one of the receipts from the whorehouses? Yeah. What kind of
I'm gonna need a fisheye lens. I need a wide angle.
What kind of scrapbooking was this fucking guy doing? Your father is a very powerful man in the U.S. government. By all means, fuck whores, and by all means, do crack, but don't chronicle all of it. Wouldn't that be
Oh my God!
It's literally. I'm going to take pictures of me holding a crack pipe up, driving a Porsche GT3 to Las Vegas at 180 miles an hour. Why?
He wants to show everything that's illegal he's doing.
Yes. Why? Why all the dick pics? Why all the debauchery captured is what I'm saying.
His scrapbooks are going to be awesome.
I'm not judging the debauchery. I'm just judging the chronicling of it.
His name is, what's his name? Bo? Well, no.
That's
Hunter.
Hunter and Bo. That's dog names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo is a good dog name.
Yeah, Bo and Hunter are good dog names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All
At
right.
least the dog is doing his job. His sons are not doing anything.
That's right.
And
one's dead.
Yeah, he
but
died
to
for
make
the
your
country.
point.
He died for the country, but his second son make sure he fucks the widow, which is good. Good American.
He's fucking.
Yeah.
He's fucking the widow of his brother. Jesus Christ.
Yes. There's a lot of women you can choose from,
Yeah.
but you have to fuck the widow of your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's classy.
He's the smartest guy. He's the smartest guy Joe knows. All right.
Yeah, so some Secret Service agents sent to the hospital because
Oh, no.
the dog's bites go pretty
How big
deep.
is the new dog?
A German Shepherd.
Oh.
So, yeah, but we'll see. So I don't know what they're going to do. But
I'd fire the Secret Service guy.
he fired. Yeah, because I mean, you're supposed to take a bullet for this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, they're just following orders. They are German.
You're supposed to dive in slow motion and push me out of the way while the
that dog
bullet's
looked
in the
vicious,
air.
though.
Take
Yeah.
a bite every once in a while.
Go
We
to the
just wanna make
hospital
sure
from
you
a
still
dog?
got it.
Yeah.
Sure, Chinese woman, they're just like, I'm gonna cook you if you but one more Secret Service agent. I'm gonna barbecue you.
Does that
I'll
go on
there.
in China?
The dog festival is canceled. There's a Yuling Dog Festival. Where,
Oh, really?
Where it's like in the
It's
southern
canceled
China.
this year? Oh, shit. I
think
got to
it's
call
2
the
years-
Airbnb guy.
2 years
Fuck,
ago,
I
it
didn't
canceled.
know.
All the young hip Chinese young people, they
they
love
went-
dogs. They just all the movie stars, rich people, they go there to buy the dog and then to send them to shelters because they won't kill the dog if you buy them. Because there's like a dog showcase, like this one tastes sour, this one's good. But then you go there, I want to buy 200 dogs. You just take the money and you take the truck, you take the dogs and you buy them so you can release them to safety.
I bet in Japan, they have dogs in vending machines.
I think so.
You can get used panties.
Anything.
You get a
really,
hot
now.
meal, sushi. I mean, how long before you just have dogs in a vending machine? If you're going to have panties.
Yeah.
Yeah, use the panties.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
It only makes sense. All right. What else we got?
So there's a new study that says pooping only so if you poop every 3 or more days, it's linked to cognitive decline.
So if you're pooping twice a week only.
Then, so being chronically constipated, defined by the authors of the study as having a bowel movement only every 3 or more days, has been linked with a 73% higher risk of subjective cognitive decline. Yeah, so, and this cognitive function refers to a person's mental capacity for learning, thinking, problem solving, paying attention, things like that. But yeah, so if you're pooping consistently, that's a good thing. And if for the people who are not pooping enough, it actually it shows that you have bad gut health, and that's really what the cognitive decline
And
is
the
coming
gut
from.
is controlling the mind.
Yeah.
Now
I think
that's
it
what
could
we're
connect.
finding.
I think in a qigong, the Chinese study, you do qigong. I think the gut is connecting your mind. You have a healthy gut, your mind is moving. If your
Right.
gut is like Elvis and his daughter, with all the pills that you can't shit, you can't think. Then people fuck you.
Speaking of moving, how the movement's going?
It's good.
Pretty regular?
Yes, it's good.
What can I put you down for?
I just my neighbor, she has a plum tree. When I walk the
I like
dog,
where
I go
this is
there.
going.
I steal the tree. I steal the fruits. I just
Right.
go there. I stand there. I just kind of do this. I just take the.
Stuff them down your bra?
I like to steal things because it's free. I and they also. And plum is good for you. It's natural.
well,
plum fruit.
Yeah, it's like prunes, yeah.
Prunes. I can't pronounce things, but I mean, you
say
know what I
prune.
say.
Let's hear it.
Prum.
Prune?
Prum. They are purplish, dark. You eat them. It help you with constipation.
So you can't do the N in the prune.
Prum.
No.
Well, you got plum.
Plum. Prum.
You got plum,
Plum.
prune.
Prum.
There you
Prune.
go. Prune.
But you can say Nissan.
Nissan.
Nissan?
Nissan.
Son?
I can't say Japanese thing. It's just it blocks here. I can't say it's
shit.
Japanese. Japanese.
The hell did the Chinese make?
Nissan. We make shitty cars. We don't even know what the name.
Yeah.
I can't even name one because the car's so bad.
All right. So prum.
Prum.
Well, that's your version.
Prum.
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 And Nissan.
Prum Nissan.
Can you say the sun?
The sun.
All right.
I can say the sun because they have penises. Yeah, sun.
Oh, sun.
Whatever.
Oh, sun. whatever.
My son is my son.
But not the
Yeah.
rising sun. That's a Japanese flag.
Oh yeah, the rising sun is also whenever I wear a white dress on my period, it's a Japanese flag too.
Thank God your mom doesn't speak English. So
Do you eat the plums or the pre-prunes?
The prunes. I
Is-
steal them from my neighbor there. Yeah.
I am as regular a person I've ever met in my life. I don't think I've gone a day without dropping a deuce. It is like clockwork with me. Don't spit.
You got a spit take there.
I think a deuce is a good name. Deuce.
Deuce,
Deuce.
right?
Deuce
Yeah, drop
sounds
the
like
deuce.
really like a.
Yeah, especially when you use the alliteration with
Oh
the
my God,
dropping
Deuce is a
of the
good name
deuce.
for Biden's dog.
Deuce.
Deuce. Deuce.
Deuce,
That's a
get away from that
really
Secret
good dog
Service guy.
That'd be
Yeah.
a good name.
Deuce, that's not
Deuce.
your cocaine. Leave
Yes.
that locker alone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go every day.
And maybe
Same time?
twice a day, same time, no problemos. Only time I get caught out in the rain is when the clock starts shifting.
Like daylight savings time?
No. Like travel from Vegas, catch the 8 a.m. flight, have a cup of coffee in the airport,
Your wake
and
up time is
realize,
different.
I'm not making it back to the house. Can I let you in on a story?
Yeah.
I was leaving Vegas last Thursday, caught the early flight, did the usual, went to bed late, had a great meal, big meal with Mike August, Thursday night, ate a little too much, woke up at 7:15, met Mike in the car, drove to the airport, found a cup of coffee, found myself standing in the Southwest terminal, and it was about 8:45 in the morning. I'm like, oh man, it's go time. Now, normally it's 8:45 in the morning, but I'm at my house.
Right.
And I'm drinking my coffee and I'm putzing around. No problemo. Now I'm Southwest, McCarran Airport, Southwest Terminal, going to the bathroom. It's a beehive of activity. Every stall is filled. Every stall is filled, except for the one handicap at the end. I go, look.
You got to do it.
You got to do it. I go in there, drop the deuce, big time. In there, now I realize why that stall's empty. 2 rollers of toilet
Dual
paper.
rolls, yeah.
Both gone. Both gone. Both gone. Okay? Now, I reach for the ass gaskets. Yeah, the toilet seat liners.
Yes.
Yeah, that's paper.
Spent.
It's been
gone. Gone.
Cleaned out.
There's nothing in there. Like, I'm going to have to open my wallet and get out pictures of my kids. That's all I got at this
$100
point.
bills.
I got $100 bills and pictures of my kids. That's all I got, and I'm sitting there.
Oh, no.
Mike's waiting. They're boarding now. So now I got to make the move. You know what I mean? I got to walk out.
Waddle?
Got to kind of put it back together and waddle out.
The loose.
Now, I don't know what etiquette is, but there's a dude waiting for the stall.
You got it.
I want to stop him because I know.
You didn't flush yet, did you?
I flush. I even courtesy flush.
Okay.
But now I walk out, and the guy's like, oh, okay. And he walks right in and slashes the door behind him. Like, okay, let's not live in the past. That's his fate now. I got burned. Let him get burned. So now I'm walking around giving the weird walk. And also, I have no
weird walk.
I have where you walk flat-footed, really flat-footed, like the Tin Man.
You want the least amount of motion.
Yes, I'm walking
while
like
traveling.
the Tin Man would walk. And then I pull up to the sink and I'm looking around and I'm grabbing a few sheets, right? I gotta grab some
towels,
sheets and paper towels, and people are kind of wanting to know what I'm doing. I'm like pretending to wash my hands and grab these sheets.
So slick, yeah.
Even give one a little dunkaroo under the water,
Might as well.
And then I find myself milling around the bathroom now because there's no open stalls. And then as soon as one opens, I gracefully, like a swan, slide into that stall. But now we got cleanup on aisle 9. Like, this is not working out at this point. That stall has one functional toilet paper roll, and the other one is completely gone. Like, I don't know what's going on
Somebody
at
said speak to a
McCarran.
manager, yeah.
I blame the buffets, blame the all-you-can-eat shrimp. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I think they do it up on a Saturday night. I think it's a lot of steak and buffet and ambrosia salad and stuff, and they get up early and they hustle out, and then they all end up like me
Those
at the
toilets take
Southwest
some
Terminal
abuse,
over there, and that's where it all went down. But I can put myself together.
Oh, my God.
But that's the only time. The only time is when they screw up my timing.
The time zone.
Time zone. Yeah. All right, Oscar de la Hoya is out there, and I have so much to talk to him about. Jiaoying, everyone, is coming to Portland, and that'll be tomorrow, as you hear this.
Thursday. Tomorrow is Brea Improv.
That's what I wanted to say. The Brea Improv.
It's tonight as you hear this.
Tonight as you hear
Oh,
this.
yes. Yes, he's a smarter one. He's a man. I forgot.
Yes, that's why I always say as you hear this. But I understand there's a language
amazing.
barrier.
Yes.
And then I'll be there on Friday and Saturday. And the podcast, Tiger MILF and I'll spell it out for you with Jiaoying Summers is where you can listen to her. Oscar de la Hoya's got an amazing documentary out. Always good to see my friend again, and I'll be interested in talking to him right after this. Well, when I talk about Lear Capital, I'm trying to help you understand what portfolio protection can look like. I'm sitting here holding some coins that were sent to me by our new partner, Lear Capital. The world is not what it used to be. Our government is so focused on Ukraine, Russia, China, and 100 other things. Who's looking out for you? Here's a little hard news. Russia and China are discussing a trade group potentially backed by gold. They're trying to ditch the dollar and partner with trade partners like India and Brazil, using gold as an alternative currency to the U.S. dollar. Why wouldn't you want to take a peek at owning a little gold for yourself? Do me a favor. Go to learadam.com and ask for a free investment guide. That's easy, and it's free. Educate yourself and learn more about diversifying or even beginning a portfolio plan. If you go to learadam.com today and buy 1 ounce of gold, my listeners will receive 1 ounce of free silver. It's a BOGO. Buy one, get one. Check it out. LearAdam.com. That's LearAdam.com. Let me tell you about Angie Homeowners. You know, it's a lot of work to own a home. Whether it's everyday maintenance, repairs, or dream projects, it can be hard to even know where to start. All you need is Angie. Your home for everything home. Find a skilled local pro who will deliver quality and experience. Over 20 years of home service experience. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie handles the rest. Look, you're busy. You don't have time to do all this stuff. Let Angie handle it. Take care of just about any home project in just a few taps. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit online. Visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. ANGI.com. That's Angie. Let them do all the heavy lifting. Let me tell you about O'Reilly Auto Parts. Well, you want to save some money? You want to save some gas? Here's a few things you can do to improve your fuel mileage. Check your tire pressure, people. If the tire pressure is low in one or more tires, you're going to use a lot more gas. Check out your owner's manual or inspect the tire yourself to find the recommended pressure. O'Reilly Auto Parts carries a wide range of tire gauges to make it easy to check your tires on a regular basis. It's also a lot safer when they're properly inflated. Always keep your fuel system clean. A fuel injector or carburetor cleaner is a simple, affordable way to remove carbon deposits and moisture from the fuel system and can improve the performance and efficiency of your engine. How about changing a clogged air filter? As an air filter clogs with dirt and debris, airflow becomes restricted and causes your vehicle's fuel management system to use more gas. Changing clogged filters increases the amount of air available to your engine, which boosts your fuel economy. For all the money-saving gas tips you need this summer, ask the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts or go to O'ReillyAuto.com.
The Adam Carolla Show presents Oscar de la Hoya's birthday cocktail party for February 4th. Let's see who's invited. Let's welcome the American aviator who was first to fly solo across the Atlantic, Charles Lindbergh. Here's the father of the zombie film, the director of Night of the Living Dead, George Romero. Alice Cooper is here. The American chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, is here. Let's welcome one of the writers of The Love Boat, Dave Ketchum. The man considered the greatest linebacker in NFL history, Lawrence Taylor. Clint Black is killing time. From The Offspring, let's welcome Noodles. Rob Corddry is here. So is Gavin DeGraw. And the American civil rights activist who refused to give up her seat on the bus, Rosa Parks. Oscar De La Hoya is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Oscar De La Hoya in the studio's got an amazing documentary out called The Golden Boy. It's a 2-part doc, and here's how good it is, Oscar De La Hoya. I'm bad with technology. I don't like watching things on my phone like the kids do, but I got a early version of it, and I was sent the link, and all I had was my phone, and I watched both back to back on my phone. I was so goddamn riveted to this doc.
Yeah, it's by the way, I did know that Rosa Parks, we shared a birthday, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was good. But all the other people, I had no idea.
It makes you an asshole if you do.
Right, exactly.
But you're cool with Rosa Parks.
I'm cool with Rosa. You know, this documentary is raw. It's real. It's authentic. It's not sugar-coated. It's a documentary that when I was first thinking about doing this was probably 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. But you think about this, I wasn't ready 30 years ago. I wasn't ready to tell the truth. I wasn't ready to spill the beans, like they say, you know, and 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I mean, I just wasn't ready.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a really interesting kind of a psychological dive into, I mean, first thing you realize is I'm a boxing fan. I've always been a boxing fan. I was actually at the reopening for the Olympic Auditorium in 1994 when you fought. Yeah. I was such a boxing fan. I remember James Lights Out Tony fought, I think, before you.
It was my first world title.
I was there. So that's how much I loved boxing. I used to go to the Olympic Gym, which was behind the Olympic Auditorium, which was also called the Montoya Gym and was also called the Hope Street Gym.
Wow, you're going way back.
As well. Yeah. That was a scary, crazy place. So I always followed boxing. I always loved boxing, did a little bit of boxing. So I always knew about you, and you were the golden boy. Right. And the guy who shares your birthday, Lawrence Taylor, was a great linebacker, but never claimed to be the golden boy.
Right.
He never claimed to be a saint.
Sure.
He was a bad boy.
Right.
And he'd get caught with hookers and drugs and staying out all night, and everyone would go, that's LT, man. That's what he does.
That's him.
But you win the Olympic gold. You become a hero in East LA. And then you become anointed the golden boy.
Right.
And now you want to do all the shit Lawrence Taylor's doing, but it's different for you because you're the golden boy.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously it goes it's way deeper than that. You know, think about fighting at 6 years old and having the pressure from my family, right? And family thinking, well, this kid, when he grows up, is gonna take us out of the hood. Mm-hmm. He's gonna make it. And so I was already treated different right from the start, right? And then I win the gold medal. I was 18 years old, and now I have the world's pressure on my back. Mm-hmm. The golden boy, he can't do anything wrong. He smiles. He's like a nice kid, and this and that. So I run into fame, I run into money, I run into women, everything, right? But I still can't express myself the way I want to because I have this image of the golden boy. I'm still fighting. I can't do drugs. I can't drink. I'm a professional athlete that is actually taking it serious. Okay, so then all these fights I win, all these fights I lose, I retire, okay, after I get my ass kicked from Manny Pacquiao, okay, and that's another story in itself. Then I say, you know what? Now it's time. Now it's time to just be who I've always wanted to be inside, all just the volcano erupting, you know, and it was a mess.
Do you ever question this in yourself? Because I question it in myself, but you're another level. I used to be so goddamn hardworking. Like I'd be in the weight room, I'd be training and sweating and like running bleachers and stuff like that. And now I get up and I go, do some push-ups, you lazy fuck. And I go, I don't feel like doing push-ups. And I go, what the fuck happened to the person who lived at the gym, who could like over in what you did? I mean, getting up at 4 a.m., doing road work. I mean, going and doing altitude training in Big Bear and all that kind of stuff. And now you're like, I just want to have another drink and watch some porn or something. Like, do you like kind of get in your own head sometimes and just go, what the fuck happened to the spark or that intestinal fortitude or that discipline?
I'm over it. I've done it for so long. It's always been a double-edged sword for me. Boxing has always been a double-edged sword. Yeah, it gave me everything I have. World titles, this, that, gold medal, this, that, but it also made me unhappy. Ever since I lost the sport, ever since I retired, then I would ask myself, like, shit, now what? Because I hate training. I hate boxing. I had to wake up in the morning because I had to.
Right.
Because I had 10 soldiers, military, just telling me wake up in the, to go run and do everything we tell you. But now it's like I just don't like it. I dislike it. I would rather do something else.
You mentioned in the doc when you're fighting Julio Cesar Chavez for the first time, you were going to bed at 8, strict bedtime, wake up at 4 a.m. train, while you would watch him party,
right?
And then you thought that gave you the edge. So do you think to be great in boxing, you have to be miserable?
I think you have to have a lot of trauma. I think you have to have a dark side in you. When have you ever heard of a rich kid, from a white neighborhood, having it all, become a world champion? It just doesn't happen.
No.
A perfect family, it just doesn't happen. So all the trauma I had, and this is what the documentary tells you, is all the trauma I had, the physical trauma I had from my mother and the emotional trauma I had from my father. I mean, that's what really took me to the top, literally.
Yeah, you were fighting
all that
rage.
anger. I was the rage. In training camp and sparring in my fights, I would picture my mom and I was like, man, I'm gonna knock the hell out of you. I'm gonna knock the shit out of you, and that's where my rage came from. Because I'm a type of guy that I see an ant and I gotta take care of it and make sure it doesn't get stepped on or something.
So where did the theme with the mom died a couple of years before you win the Olympic gold, and everyone grabbed onto that and fell in love with it immediately, fulfilling her wish of her son winning Olympic gold.
Yeah.
When the reality is your mom in your relationship's a lot more complex than that.
Yeah, it is complex. I just wanted her to tell me she loves me. That's it. She never told me she loved me. And so when she passes away and I do my first interview and the reporter's like, well, your mom's dying wish is for her son to win the gold medal. And I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good.
Oh,
that sounds like a great story. So I went with it. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm in Barcelona. I win the gold. I walk down to do my interview with Fred Rogan. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, how does this feel winning it for your mom? And I go with the story and it just takes off like wildfire, But inside I'm living a lie. I didn't promise,
It's so funny how fast everything just gets into the zeitgeist and how we love a story and a theme and a narrative, and the golden boy wins it for mama and now comes back as a hometown hero in East LA. Not a lot to root for in terms of East LA. So here you are, like this big hometown hero, and I guess you get to enjoy it for about 5 minutes, and then the next question is what's next?
Right. And, when I get back from Barcelona, all I want to do is go to her cemetery and literally present the gold medal to her. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't even do that for, I think, 2 weeks. That's how crazy it was. I mean, I literally would try to go to sleep in my little garage where we slept, me and my brother. And people like at 3, 4 in the morning would just bang on the door. Hey, are you there, Oscar? Can we get an autograph?
Wow.
I'm like, holy shit, wait a minute. It's 4 in the morning. Yeah, we just want an autograph, you know. I didn't have a life. And you can imagine I didn't have the time to go and talk to my mom and say, hey, here's your gold.
Right.
And so that took a while. And, life was just so fast. Everything was quick, was fast. I wasn't going to fight professionally until I got forced into it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a semi-common theme. I feel like Sugar Ray Leonard got back from the Olympics and wasn't planning on turning pro, or
Sure.
at least as he says it.
Sure.
But now we got Sugar Ray Leonard out of the deal, and we got Oscar De La Hoya out of the deal. And, you know, to be fair to everyone who forces someone to do some shit they don't want to do, you know, I don't know what the alternative would have been, like, for you. Like, and let's forget about the monetary side of it.
Sure.
But who knows how happy you would have been being who knows what in East LA. Like, I don't know what you would have gone on to. But would you have rather done that than led the life you led?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because, I mean, look, boxing has given me everything, but boxing took a lot away from me. And I was actually thinking, and it was documented, I was actually thinking of becoming an architect. I was really into architecture. And obviously, boxing derailed those plans. And once I decided to fight professionally, then it was game on.
Was it your dad pushing you?
Yeah. I mean, and the entire family.
Yeah. It's such a crazy cultural thing because you see these 6-year-old Hispanic boys beating the crap out of each other, and the parents, uncles and aunts, all standing around. And you couldn't, in my neighborhood, there's no such thing as white people playing tackle football anymore, much less getting punched in the head with headgear that barely has any padding in it, you know. Like, and it does. You know, it's interesting because you can tell how cultures are doing by who boxes. Used to be a lot of Jewish boxers in the 20s and the 30s. Like, a lot of people don't know that, but they're Max Baer.
That's true.
Jew.
Yeah.
They had a lot of Italian. Boxers were Italian, Irish, and Jews back then. And then the cultures worked their way out of that shit. And they said, my son's not going to be a boxer. He's going to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And they worked it out. Blacks and Hispanics are now what populates basically boxing, which is a cultural reminder that they're not working their way out of that world.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm hoping that my grandkids are lawyers and not fighters, you know.
Well, speaking of your kids too,
Cesar Chavez has a kid who fights, you know. So it doesn't always. Sometimes there's a rich kid that slides between the cracks,
but he's a mess.
He's not quite what Dad was. But yeah.
So a common theme in the doc too is just how your family struggled to express emotions, like everybody in your family, your brother to your mom, your dad. So how, and then it talks about you and your kids, like you have an estranged kid who you didn't meet till he was 16.
16.
Like, so how are you with expressing emotion now? Or is it something you're working on? Is it something that you think?
Yeah,
you're good at now?
I'm cutting the cord. I'm changing the cycle. That's basically it. It stops here. You know, I'm very expressive. I love them. I'm not the best father. You know, I was absent. For X reasons, but the cycle stops here. I'm fed up with it. You have to express yourself. You have to communicate, you know, and that's what I've learned throughout this whole process. Everything's communication, man. You know, I couldn't communicate the simple words to my mom, I love you, even to my father till 2 years ago. I was contemplating on expressing to my father that I love you. And I remember I was strolling, I was like just walking around my home and just nervous and scared because I wasn't going to see my father to tell him I love him. And so I go to his house and I'm like thinking about it. So I just go up to him and tell him, I love you, Dad. And I'm like, maybe he's going to punch me or something, you know, or he's going to do something. But he just hugs me and starts crying, You know,
Yeah.
so all that fear that I've had over the years, you know, it's just fear, and I was able to overcome it in that moment, and it felt beautiful.
Does it feel like, do you feel liberated now? Like, in a way, like some guy who was gay and living in the closet and pretending to be straight and having a failed marriage or something.
It's
And
the
all of a sudden,
same shit.
you just come out and it's a relief.
Yeah, it's a relief, man. It's like throwing that deuce.
Yeah, dropping that juice. Yeah.
Well, speaking of your dad too, so I heard that when you watched the documentary, was the first time you saw your dad's talking head, where he said, "Oh yeah, if Julio Cesar Chavez was the same age as my son, he would have beat him."
I'm like, what the? I'm your kid, dude.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go for me.
Well, old habits die hard, as they say. And that fight against Meldrick Taylor was pretty spectacular. I mean, I'm not making an argument for Julio Cesar Chavez, but
he was the man.
That was a crazy ass fight.
But I still kicked his ass.
Yeah, that's true. Meldrick Taylor's beating the shit out of him for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
With 10 seconds left, he lands one and wins the fight. That's Lou Duva's fault.
No, and till this day, Richard Steele gets booed because of stopping that fight.
Well, let's see if we disagree on this one. My feeling is I don't want the referee looking at the clock.
Sure.
I don't even care if he knows what round it is. Either the fight
not
needs
his
to be
job.
stopped or it doesn't need to be stopped.
Yep.
And I don't care if there's 4 seconds left in the 12th. It's unfair to the other fighter.
Of course.
If he went, just let it go on, he's going to be saved by the bell or whatever. Would have been unfair to Julio Cesar Chavez.
Well, the referee's job is to look out for the health of the fighter,
Right.
and not to look out for the clock.
Right.
He didn't know. He doesn't
No.
care. He's focused on making sure Meldrick Taylor's not going to die in there.
But if you hear Meldrick Taylor speak now, you know he didn't do
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
an excellent job because
Yeah,
Meldrick's got a
pretty sad.
lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a crazy fight. And it is interesting with the Latin culture, it's so based around machismo and manlyhood and stuff like that. And it's a couple of Mexican fighters, but one's Mexican American, and so everyone takes up with Julio Cesar Chavez. And you felt like it's time to prove my point, right?
Yeah, and you can imagine all the emotions. I mean, there is a lot of machismo, where you have to be tough and you can't express yourself. And so imagine being the golden boy and everybody loves me, and I fight Julio Cesar Chavez, and now I'm the villain
Right.
for the
Oh,
first
right,
time in my life. And now people are telling me, man, you piece of shit and this and that, and you're no good, and and he's gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, geez, I'm like one of your own here. Like, what's going on here? So I realized, obviously, he's the king of Mexico. He's the Messiah, basically. And so when I kicked his ass, a lot of people, all of Mexico maybe, was against me. And it took a long time, a lot of years to somewhat win them over, by fighting, by standing my ground, and because my message in that fight was, hey, I'm American, yes, and I love it, I'm proud, but my roots are Mexican. What's wrong with that?
If it helps soften the blow a little about your dad taking Julio Cesar Chavez, if he was 10 years younger, over you. There is a tape of Barry Sanders for the Detroit Lions and his dad being interviewed. And he's like, Jim Brown was the best running back in the NFL. My son, maybe top 5, maybe, but not better than Jim Brown. Jim Brown would kick his ass. So your dad and Barry Sanders' dad should go out and have a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, they should.
They can relate.
So I didn't know, the thing about the doc, it's by the way, I make documentaries, and like this was skillfully made. Like this is real top shelf.
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
lot of work. Docs are always interesting because you learn a lot, but some of them are a little raggedy around the edges.
Yeah.
This wasn't that. This was extremely well done, and very. It was top shelf. It was very high end, And
I have a question about the way you shaped it, because, like, for instance, we just came off of Michael Jordan's The Last Dance,
Right.
and shaping your legacy. But in your documentary, you have all your exes in it. You have, like, all the guys you fired. Like, you have people that, like, I don't think Michael Jordan would have that in his. So it's like, why
Yeah.
did you choose to shape it this way?
'Cause I just wanted closure. I wanted a documentary that's just gonna speak the truth. That's it. I mean, I'm watching it, and my kids are talking shit about me in it.
right.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the way they feel. So it's great for me. It's liberating. Okay, now I know what I have to work on. Now I know exactly how they feel. Okay, hey, this is a work in progress here. My life has been tough, to say the least. And it's a work in progress. So when I'm watching my father talk shit about me, when I'm watching my kids talk shit about me, wait, well then maybe there's something that is wrong with them, or something's wrong with me. Let's figure this out.
Well, when you watch the doc, part one, it just lights up on you just saying you're getting the whole truth and nothing but the truth
Yeah.
here. And I was immediately grabbed by that because I was like, I'm a boxing fan. I know he's a golden boy. And I was like, how much of this is he going to fudge and hedge, even when it came down to the fishnet pictures and all that kind of stuff? Like, is he going to give it up? Is he going full Monty with this? Or is he going to try to hold back? And I was pretty amazed in the doc because there was all those controversial pictures. Now, when I look at them, I go, that's nothing. But it was a big deal because it was basically, he was a golden boy.
Yeah.
And he's taking these funky pictures of him sort of in half drag and
With a stripper.
And it's like nothing now, but back then it'd be like if I'm trying to think, it'd be like if a highly respected Baptist priest was caught with a showgirl kind of thing. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. If Lawrence Taylor was caught with a showgirl, it wouldn't have been a big deal. Or if Lawrence Taylor was caught with a stripper, it wasn't a big deal. But this was a golden boy.
Yeah.
And then you did that interview in Spanish.
Right.
And
Where I admitted it,
the
yeah.
woman asked you straight out, and they'd already said it was Photoshop.
Sure. You
were
Everyone bought into
successfully
it.
manipulate the media.
I
You
paid
had
a
won.
lot of money. I paid a lot of money for that expert to say they're photoshopped.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
much?
A lot.
You can get
A
an
lot.
expert to say anything, which is the beauty of
Right, yeah,
our
exactly.
court system.
But you know, just the fact that I denied them.
Right.
People knew they were real. Come on, you can't, you know. But the fact that I denied them, and the fact that we had some expert come in, and you know, so now I'm a target. Now it's like, wait a minute, why don't you just own up to them? You know. And obviously, I came up with that interview that I did in Spanish, where I admitted, yes, they are real, and this did happen. It was more embarrassing than anything else at that time, you know.
The pictures, the woman, the ex-stripper who was the Russian gymnast and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
seemed delightful.
Yeah.
She
During
did
the
come across
interview.
good in the interview, yeah.
Yeah, she seemed like she'd found herself or something.
Right.
Like
Yeah, she's like somewhere in Costa Rica or something,
she's
like
at
hiding
peace.
out. Yeah.
she looked like a lot of women go through that journey where they're working as a stripper when they're 20s, and then at some point they find some holistic something, and they
Right.
kind of rub a few crystals together and let bygones
Totally.
be bygones. But how did the pictures come out? It wasn't really covered in the doc.
Well, I was talking to my girlfriend about this on the way over here. I was telling her, man, should I open up an investigation? Because there's numerous stories that I've been hearing over the years of what happened with those pictures. How much did they cost? I'm hearing from this one guy that knows that he's sure he knows the people that did this, and they received $20 million.
Whoa.
And so now I'm thinking to myself, man, I gotta go check my books now.
Right.
You know, now I gotta go investigate, because I heard it was $1 million. Mm-hmm. So then the girl admitted to the director that yes, it was $20 million, but she only saw 2 of it.
This
So-
is the Russian.
The Russian,
Yeah.
a stripper that's in Costa Rica, rubbing the
Doing some yoga, rubbing crystals.
crystals
yeah.
and stuff. So I don't know what the story is. So now I'm thinking to myself, man, maybe I should just open up an investigation here.
Yeah, there has to be some
We'll
sort of
see.
trail.
Who knows? I mean, I don't know, but it's the story was just all, maybe it was an inside job, because you think about this, and I was talking to my girlfriend about this. To get those fucking pantyhose on me and shit, that bodysuit, it can't just be one person.
Were you
And
blacked out?
I was out. I don't know what the hell happened. That's the worst part. I don't know what the hell happened. So, I mean, I don't know if you ever put one on, but
It's been a while.
yeah, it's
When I'm at my fighting weight, yeah, I'll put that shit
where
on.
you look good and
I'm
ripped.
I'm at cruiserweight now.
But you know, those things tear.
Yeah.
You know, if you're my dead body weight, and it's like you got to lift my arms and my legs, so there had to be other people there. Is what I'm saying. So
And you think it was a total setup? Because her whole thing is like Oscar needed to be free and he needed to explore his feminine
Yeah.
side, and sounded a little convenient for her.
I mean, it did sound convenient, but it's crazy because I would go. Obviously, she introduced drugs to me. She introduced cocaine to me, and so then I remember after I retired, because I'm not going to do drugs during fighting, because they check you, obviously. But when I was going over to visit her, the numerous times that I went to visit her, I didn't even have sex with her. I was so loaded, and all I would do is cry and talk about my mom, which is crazy, you know? So there's some twisted shit in my head that and that's why I did this documentary.
We have Barry Sanders' dad on a video talking
good.
about not thinking his son was that great. At the Hall of Fame? Jeez, he may have just topped your dad. Because your dad...
He does look like my dad.
Into the Boxing Hall of Fame? All right, here it is.
First, I want to say hello to the greatest running back that ever lived, the number one running back who ever lived. He's not with us today. I think he's with his family in Los Angeles, Mr. Jim Brown. So I want to say hello to him, Jim.
Yeah. What about your
I was
son?
supposed to have a 30-second speech. I'm going to make it quick. And now I want to introduce you to the third best running back that ever lived, Barry Sanders.
I told you his dad was a hard ass.
Brutal.
Damn.
He's still pushing his kid.
I mean, was that just the generation, you know?
I come from a group that was that way as well, and because when I started to get to become a celebrity, my grandma was like, I don't want his head getting big. I don't want him thinking he's all that. It's our job to keep him down.
Right.
He goes outside, he gets all the accolades.
Sure.
But in here, our job is to crush him
as much
and
as we can.
steal his soul. And I don't know why family members take that as a burden upon them.
Right.
Like and you'll hear it, like the brothers, sisters, I can keep you grounded, bro. Someone's got to tell you no.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's got to do it. It's like, do they?
Yeah, I get cousins like.
I just lent you $10,000. You ready to keep me grounded?
Yeah,
I put a new roof on your house.
I get cousins who tell me, "Oh, you're just a piece of shit." What? Why do you call me a piece of shit? Oh, well, I just want to keep you grounded. Well, don't call me a piece of shit. I mean,
Yeah, there are better ways to ground one. I agree. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with Oscar De La Hoya right after this. Let me tell you about O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wow. You want to save some money? You want to save some gas? Here's a few things you can do to improve your fuel mileage. Check your tire pressure, people. If the tire pressure is low in one or more tires, you're going to use a lot more gas. Check out your owner's manual or inspect the tire yourself to find the recommended pressure. O'Reilly Auto Parts carries a wide range of tire gauges to make it easy to check your tires on a regular basis. It's also a lot safer when they're properly inflated. Always keep your fuel system clean. A fuel injector or carburetor cleaner is a simple, affordable way to remove carbon deposits and moisture from the fuel system and can improve the performance and efficiency of your engine. How about changing a clogged air filter? As an air filter clogs with dirt and debris, airflow becomes restricted and cause your vehicle's fuel management system to use more gas. Changing clogged filters increases the amount of air available to your engine, which boosts your fuel economy. For all the money-saving gas tips you need this summer, ask the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts or go to O'ReillyAuto.com. Let me tell you about Turo, Innovative. It's the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. With Turo, you can book any car you want, wherever you want, from a community of local hosts. Browse a huge selection of vehicles for just about any occasion or budget. Book an SUV or a minivan for a family road trip, a pickup truck for some errands, or even test drive an EV. Every trip is backed by liability insurance. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Find your drive. Forget your boring rental cars at Turo, Turo.com. Back with the Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya, and that's the name of the doc, The Golden Boy. It's 2 parts. I'll say this about this doc. You will watch the first part, and you will roll right into the second part. You won't even go, well, I'll watch the second part tomorrow night or whatever. You just go, I gotta see more of this. Yeah. Both parts are streaming now on Max, and
what a cliffhanger right at the end of the first one.
Oh yeah. Bomb. Yeah. Dropped a bomb.
Oh, it's like, boom, here we go, the deuce.
So it's just so watchable. I couldn't stop watching it on my phone, and then the following day I saw it on HBO Max. It came out, and I was like, oh, now I got to watch it again on a slightly larger screen. Right. So
knowing you were coming in, I actually thought, because we've had you on the show before, I've heard interviews you've done. You've actually said this in the doc. You were trained with PR. Sure. You're very diplomatic, very proper, and no one could really break through emotionally. But then in the first 10 seconds of this, you're insanely vulnerable. Yeah. So, and I just want to know, what was it like for you watching it again?
I bawl and cry like a baby, every single time. But I think every time that I'm doing that, I'm healing myself, I've done all the work, man. I've been through therapy for years, and I've been through rehabs, and I've done all the work. So making this documentary, in a way, it's kind of like closing the door, and now I can move on. My next chapter is, the second half of my life. So at 50 years old, people tell me, why now? And I say, why not?
Right.
Now's the time. Now's the time when I can speak the truth,
Is this the closest thing you've had to closure with your mom?
No, I had closure with her a while back. Yeah. I've had closure with her a while back. But it's still a healing wound. I've already ripped out the Band-Aid, but it's still, the scar's still there, but yeah, I've moved on, man. I'm ready to just live life now, man.
Yeah, I heard you sleep 10 hours a night now.
Yeah, bro. I have help with gummies, but
yeah, well, just getting up at 4 a.m. and doing road work, I just feel like if I were you, I would just set my alarm for 4 a.m. every day, look at the clock, and then laugh and go back to bed. Go right back to bed for another 7 hours. Yeah, one of the characters I noticed in the doc, who was one of the guys in your corner, who's one of the greatest characters in boxing, who I've always been enamored with, was Chuck Bodak, the cut man.
Yeah.
I've always saw this guy. He's the bald guy with the stickers.
The stickers on the head.
On his head. Yeah. And I always thought, this is the funkiest dude in the world, but he must have been a premier cut man because he worked everybody's corner for cuts. Right?
I think he worked Jack Johnson's corner.
But he was Eskimo Jim.
He was a wonderful man. Yeah, I miss him actually. He actually stopped drinking. He told me he stopped drinking because he almost ran over his wife.
Really?
So he stopped drinking.
Wow.
So he wouldn't run over her, and so then when he became single, he became a cut man, And he just traveled the world and was the cut man for Muhammad Ali, for George Foreman, for all the greats. And so I ended up using him for most of my career. And it's funny because he would always sleep on the floor.
Really?
Always sleep on the floor, wherever he was at. There was a man who has a beautiful car museum, right? Took him in, I think adopted him maybe, and he told him, I'm going to give you a beautiful home and you can sleep in there. He goes, no, I want to sleep in one of the cars. I want to sleep on the floor. That's where I feel most comfortable.
Wow.
He was such a unique man.
You didn't seem to cut that much like some guys do. Like there's just some guys that just cut.
Oh, yeah.
Like easily.
Yeah.
And, other than the Pacquiao fight, I never really saw you beat up too badly.
Yeah.
At
I
least-
still think I have all my marbles up there, but I feel it once in a while, the punches. Once in a while it kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
But I never got beat up. I think I was a hard worker. Mm-hmm. I was so dedicated and I was just disciplined. But it was towards the end. It was towards the end when I was getting beat up in the Pacquiao training camp. I was getting beat up in sparring. And I would spend 2 months and a half up in Big Bear to get away from everyone and just focus. So the last 2 weeks of training camp, I started drinking. Mm-hmm. And it's the only time that I did that during my whole career.
You'd have to smuggle something in?
No, just go to the liquor store and buy some booze.
But you couldn't bring the booze back and drink it at camp, could you?
No. So in that camp, because I normally stay with my team in the same home, I rented a home for myself. So I was already plotting in my head
I'm going to drink.
that I'm going to be up to no good.
Right.
And so I was drinking. I go to the Pacquiao fight in Vegas. I lose a lot of weight because I had just fought Hopkins, and then I went back down to fight Pacquiao at 147. I was weighing like 142. Dead man walking. I get inside the ring. He's beating the crap out of me. In the 7th or 8th round, I'm thinking, fuck, just end it. Please, just end it. Hit me with that one punch to end my life, please. I was hoping for that.
You were that miserable and that low at that point.
That low.
Another thought, as a guy who used to teach boxing, I love the part where they turned you around at the beginning, which is something they do now. So you're a left-hander.
Right. Southpaw.
But you stood in an orthodox
Then I was orthodox, yeah.
stance. And they'll do that now just to get the guy's strong arm forward. So
Right.
you get that power and that front
Sure.
hook and the jab and all that kind of stuff. But they did it to you sort of like I'm left-handed, and like I have a right-handed football stance. I played football for 10 years with a right-handed football stance. It's because when I was 7, some asshole just went, "What are you doing? Use your other hand, you asshole." And I went, you're doing it wrong. And for you, they just turned you around when you were 6 or 7.
Just
Right.
easier.
Because it's just how they knew. They didn't want to do the math.
No,
in their
it
head,
was just
right?
like, oh, well, this is too tough for me to train you, kid, so just flip over. Yeah.
Yeah, because trainers are really dumb. And even if you're standing in a left-handed stance, they'll go, throw the right cross. And you'd be like, what do you mean right cross? It's a left hand. And they'll go, throw. And I used to yell to everyone, just say cross, jab. Say jab and
Right.
cross. You don't have to say right cross, because
Right.
if you're standing
Yeah.
left-handed. But it ended up probably really making you stand out in terms of your skill, because you had that power in the front arm and became a real formidable weapon.
Well, that's the power punch that took me to stardom, basically. My left jab was lethal, and nobody can get through it, and nobody can block it. And I remember I tore my right rotator cuff. Freak accident. And then I just had, in one of these fights, I had my left jab to work with. That's it. And I just pummeled on him with my left jab. He couldn't block it. And I won, I believe it was my 8th world title with just one hand with my jab. So the fact that trainer switched me over was the best thing that could happen to me.
Yeah. And also, I mean, you're alluding to it, but you were always really disciplined. Your hands didn't go down around your waist. Like, you were always upright, almost kind of European style, because that's how you see the Klitschko's fight, like European fighters, their elbows are kind of tucked in, their hands are up high, just staying tight with the form the entire time.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, you take a look at, I'm going way back, Sullivan, right? John L. Sullivan, where he has his fists straight up here, right? And you have to have that compact, tight defense. And I was disciplined. I was, that's how I trained. I was a machine. And I don't think they make them like me anymore,
Yeah, what's your take on the modern day series? I mean, you're doing fights, right?
Yeah, I'm promoting. I'm doing all the big major fights, but I just, it's different.
Is it the business part? I mean, it's a business, and that, like in football, the guy will go over the middle and kind of short arm the ball, and then the announcer he made a business decision. He wasn't going to get destroyed or blown up, right? Yeah. And guys, especially you guys, but going back further, but especially when you're talking about, Hagler and Hearns and those guys, those were just crazy, bloody wars. But now people are making a little more business decisions.
Right. They're a little more careful. They don't really take risks. But they're not fighting each other. They're not fighting the best against the best. I remember I fought like 5 world title fights in 1 year.
Wow.
I lived in Big Bear for a whole year because I was in training camp all that time. So, and we're talking about Pernell Whitaker. We're talking about fighting Macho Camacho. We're talking in 1 year. And it just doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore, which is pretty sad.
I think Hector Macho Camacho's got a doc floating around somewhere too that's worth it if you're into it.
It's a pretty sad life, man. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
do you see with like the fighters of today? Do they like their discipline compared to yours? Is it similar, or do you what do you think of it?
I think a lot of fighters, they do have discipline. There's a lot of talent out there because the training has gotten better. There's better technology. There's better vitamins and the better training techniques. But they're not fighting as often as we did back in the day. For some strange reason. I don't know. I don't know if they want to.
They're worried about their records, or they're worried.
They're worried about their and they're worried about the undefeated records, and just fight the best. Fight the very best. Do your best, and you maybe one day will become a legend. Who knows? But just fight the very best. Everybody thinks about the purses and, I want to make all the money in the world. And look, fight the fights, fight the best, and the money will come.
What do you think about some of the MMA guys getting into the boxing ring? I think somebody's talking about
Tyson versus Ndagu, is it? Or I'm not sure what his name is, the heavyweights.
Yeah, Francis Ngannou, I think it is.
Look, the bottom line is that he's going to get his ass kicked.
If he boxes.
It's in the boxing ring.
Yeah, then it's not going to work.
It's done. It's
work.
over. No, if Tyson Fury goes into the octagon, then Tyson Fury's done. He's going to get choked out, beat up, whatever it might be. But look, there's a reason why MMA fighters are going into boxing is because they're making money.
Yeah.
Mayweather versus the notorious one.
Right.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
He made the biggest purse of his life inside a boxing ring. There's a reason for it.
There must be you must get a phone call twice a year to see if you'll fight some jack-off internet
YouTuber
guy who's talking shit. Like, who's 23. I mean, that's just... And in a weird way, it's always out there. Like if you want it.
Sure.
Or if you need the cash.
Right. I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good. I don't want to... I was actually going to do it.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. I was going to fight Belfort.
Vitor Belfort. MMA.
So I don't know how I got convinced into doing it. It was going to be at the Staples Center. I was training like a madman. I felt really good.
How long ago was this?
Man, this was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And so we were, and Belfort, keep in mind, he's like a heavyweight. So I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Right.
And so I'm training, I'm ready. I'm in the best shape of my life, considering, right? Boom, COVID hits me the week before.
Wow.
And I am out. I mean, that's like, talk about an angel falling from the sky, you know?
And the fights never
happened. Never happened. And I'm glad he didn't. He goes on to fight Evander Holyfield and knocks him out.
Oh, he knocked out Evander Holyfield?
Knocked him out.
Wow.
Imagine what he would have done to me.
Well, he's a big, strong dude, but I would guess that, I don't want to sound like your dad here, but if Evander Holyfield was a few years younger, because I'm guessing that Vitor Belfort was probably had 15 years, maybe 12. I've got to figure out how old they are. Maybe 12, 15 years on Evander Holyfield, who's knocking on the door of 60, 61 or something like that.
Exactly.
So that's got to be tough. But your finances are fine. You don't need...
Yeah, I'm good. Thank God. I'm good. I made some good moves, some good decisions. Yeah, it's funny because when I was making a lot of money inside the ring, I actually had to disown like my entire family,
immediate family,
thinking cousins, uncles, thinking that they're gonna ask for money all the fucking time.
It's like you won the lottery.
Yeah, it's crazy. So right there and then, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Like, I love my family, my uncles, my cousins, but I don't want to give you money.
Right.
Because I think I'm going to give you money or you're going to ask for money. So I just disowned them all for years. But it saved me a few mil.
Well, now, you're only a douche if you did it preemptively. But they must have asked you for shit before
of course.
You did that.
In the documentary, your sister mentioned that she wrote a note to you and she gave it to your friend to give to you. Did you ever get that note?
No,
You didn't know?
Never did. I didn't know. I didn't look. My life was training. My life was controlled by the powers to be. You know, the
Bob
managers, the promoters, you name it. Probably even my father. But I had no clue what was going on around me at that time. Like maybe from, I don't know, 22, 23, 24, 25. I had no clue whatsoever.
Was there a moment when you realized, like, I'm just surrounded by yes men and things need to change?
Yeah, of course. When I decided to get a hold of my finances, I asked my money manager, like, how much do I have in the bank? And he goes, dude, you have like $13,000 in the bank. I'm like, oh shit. I gotta make some changes now. And I was only like 21. I was 21 years old when I said that. So I've made some really good decisions. I've made some bad decisions. I've had bad people in my life, good people in my life, and I'm just happy I'm alive.
Yeah.
Literally.
Did you have thoughts, which is, and maybe this is just projection, but where you kind of thought maybe about your brother, maybe about your dad, maybe about immediate family members or even extended family or even friends, where you go, you should have been a little nicer to me when I needed you, because I would be more generous now.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where you kind of go, hey, brother, you shouldn't have picked on me as much as you did or beat on me for wearing a T-shirt from the Psychedelic Furs.
Suicidal tendencies.
Right. Like you guys should have been a little better back then, and then I would tend to be a little more gracious and generous now.
I was always gracious to my brother, to my sister. Mm-hmm. I've always been good to them, and I never crossed my mind. Because my life, like I said, was always controlled, and for a reason they wanted me controlled. The powers to be, and to a certain extent, even family. wanted me controlled, you know? And it happens when you're successful. It happens when you have money and fame, you know, because there's people who want it the easy way. And so, yeah, I was very gracious to my brother and sister, but everybody else I just disowned for those reasons.
Yeah, see, I grew up in Los Angeles, but I'm a white guy, so I had my one cousin, Greg, who lived in Santa Monica, and that was it.
That's
but
it.
you probably had 35 people with their hand out, right?
Exactly. It was like that. That's just the way it was. I mean, look, we come from a big family. And I mean, I remember, and this is how I started boxing at 6 years old. We would go to an uncle's house, the nicest house in East LA, you know, and it was a dump.
Right.
But it was nicer than ours. And we would go and the women would be in the kitchen and you know, and pregnant and, you know, cooking for the men. The men are in the back in the garage, you know, drinking beers and we always knew after an hour of drinking beers, here come the gloves.
Right.
The gloves come out, and we can just hear the uncles fighting and, you know, just knocking each other out. And this one time, one of the uncles tells one of my other uncles, he goes, let's put the little kids to fight. All right, let's get little Oscar first. And I'm like 6 years old, like just, you know, I have no clue what's going on. I put on the gloves. I walk up to my cousin and boom, punches me in the nose. And that's how it started.
That's where it all began.
That's where it all began.
Yeah, I think in the doc, your dad, who's a proud man,
Yeah.
but pride isn't always good, said he'll be back.
Oh, you watch.
I'll
He's going
get
to come
him in
back
the
and
gym.
kick your ass.
Wait till he's 8 and 3 months. He's going to open a can of whoop ass on all you fuckers. Wait till this guy gets into the 2nd grade.
Yeah.
He's going to beat the shit out of you and all your fucking friends.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy culture.
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
nuts.
I mean, it's kind of one thing when you picture kids boxing at 12 or 13, but 6 seems insane.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be unsupervised at that age, much less
Right.
whooping ass on your
shit.
cousin.
I can't imagine letting one of my kids run in East LA at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, yeah. These days, come on.
But I mean, it was a time I grew up the same way. It's like you sat in the back of pickup trucks while parents drove you around, where you're just sitting on the tailgate and they're going down the freeway. Get in the car, your dad's smoking, rolls the windows up.
Yeah.
It's cold. Like, it was just you're drinking from the hose. You know, it's like just almost the difference between that period and this period is almost the difference between like medieval times and the 70s. Like it's the same amount.
Yeah. Sure.
And the last question, because I know how you grew up. It's got to be tough when you hear about people going, oh, I'm not feeling it today, boss. Like, I'm not coming into work. Or, you don't get it because I'm celebrating my half birthday.
Right.
Or this water, I don't do carbonated water. I only do spring water, and I hope it's room temperature. Like, and you grew up how you grew up, like where you grew up.
Right.
And your kids are pissed because they screwed up the Grubhub order.
Right.
And they're devastated.
Right.
And I don't know how you stop yourself, because I have to bite my tongue like 5 times a day, wanting to tell people how life really is.
Trust me, I bite you big fucking butt. Trust me. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's different times.
Oh my God, I just had attorney Mark Garagos walked out of here like 3 hours ago, right? And he looks at me and he goes, "Whose car's out there? Is that your car? You got a new car?" He's a friend. I go, no, that's my daughter's car. He goes, "Why are you driving your daughter's car?" I said, "Because we bought her the car when she was 16. She's 17 now. She doesn't have her driver's license." He goes, "What's going on with kids? Why don't they want their driver's license?" I said, "It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts." And we had this whole middle-aged meltdown about when I was 15 and a half, I walked to the DMV and I slept over
Waited in
because
line,
my birthday was the next day. And it's like, I feel like I just go through my entire life just what the hell's wrong with everyone?
Yeah.
And at some point you have to go, it's different.
Are we too soft?
It's different. It's different. It's different. But hey, I mean, It's just different.
It's different, but I'll still say that doing road work at age, 7 in the morning, or me playing football in the middle of the San Fernando Valley with no water and getting yelled at by guys in windbreakers, it serves you when things get a little tougher.
Oh, yeah.
Later on in life.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Builds character.
We're not going to call people pussies, even if we're thinking it. The movie, The Golden Boy. It is a 2-part doc. I can't recommend a doc any higher. Just
thank you.
It's just a great piece of
Yeah,
work.
they did a great job.
Yeah.
Not only great subject, great work, but wonderfully crafted.
Yeah.
So
I wish every documentary was this honest.
yes,
That's the thing. It's honest. That's it. Look, you think what you want to think about me, but I've finally set myself free.
guys just get better with age, and women get crazier. That's what I've learned. That's the only thing I've learned in life. Every year, a woman gets a little crazier, and guys get a little better. I think we cross in like our late 30s.
That's the That's
And then after that, women keep going to crazy town,
right.
and guys keep getting saner and nicer.
his girlfriend's in the other room.
Oh, all right. Well, how old is she? Maybe she's got some time.
She's 35.
Oh, all right. She's got a few years.
Yeah, she's good. She's great.
All right. You can go to, I'm going to be at Portland at Helium Comedy Club coming up this Friday and Saturday. So come on out and say hi. Maybe a few tickets left. You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows, and go out and watch this doc streaming now on Max. HBO Max, as I used to know it. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Oscar De La Hoya and, who am I saying?
Jiaoying.
Summers screwed that up, and Chris Max Pattis saying, mahalo.